Welcome, everyone, to episode number 1 of the Back to Living There's Life After Loss podcast. My name is Yang Pratt, and it's my great honor today to introduce you to the creator and the host of the podcast, Cheryl Stevens. If you don't already know Cheryl, let me tell you a little bit about her. Cheryl worked in the insurance industry for years and has been learning to navigate life after the loss of her father and her husband. She now helps families in crisis as well as teaching women how to care for themselves. Cheryl, I am so excited to be here with you today.
Thank you. I am too. I'm excited to be here with you.
Now, Cheryl, can you take us back and tell us the story of why you started this podcast and why you're starting it now?
Well, a little bit of history. I really didn't, and I haven't talked about this a whole lot. I didn't really have a whole lot of chance to grieve after I lost my father because my husband was diagnosed 2 weeks after, well, yeah, 2 weeks after he passed away, was diagnosed with stage 3, moving to stage 4 cancer. So I went straight into caregiver mode. He fought that for 6 years and lost the battle in February 2016. At that time, I lost all interest in pretty much everything. Didn't go back to my job. I quit going to church, quit hanging out with friends, just kind of held up in my house. And with my animals here, I actually stayed in the bedroom most of the time. And one really good friend was talking to me one day, and I would always tell her the same thing. I'm just sitting here on the bed watching TV or playing on the computer. And she said, "You are still here. You still have a purpose." So that at that time, I was ready to hear it. I don't think I would have been ready to hear it before, but I was ready to hear it. And in January, I was offered a position, part-time position at a nonprofit. And 2 weeks later, an offer was made to sign up as a distributor for Synergence. And I took that. So I went from held up in my bedroom, not really wanting to visit with anyone except my kids and grandkids, to working a part-time job and owning my own part-time business. And a few months ago, I was asked to speak on the Hope to Hope conference and have had actually several people after that conference tell me that I needed to continue to spread the word because there's people out there that still don't see the hope that's out there. And maybe they need someone to tell them you're still here and your purpose is not up yet. So trying to find that purpose and trying to find that one thing that's going to get you out of the house and start living again. So if I can help anyone, even just one person, to know that they are still needed and that God's not through with them, then I will be happy.
Well, and I want to acknowledge you for taking something that was tragic in your life and having your friend pull you up by the bootstraps and say, you gotta do something. You're here for a reason. So, and then to be able to take that tragedy and turn it into something positive, where now you're helping other women who have gone through similar losses in their life reignite their purpose, reignite their passion, to be excited about living again and know that they're put here on this planet for a specific reason and they have you in their corner to help them through the process. So thank you for that.
Thank you. It is, I mean, I had been married for 41 years and my life revolved around my children and husband. That's what I did. So when I lost my kids are grown and married. And when I lost my husband, it's like I don't know what my purpose is right now. And I struggled with that for over a year. And I'm still learning my purpose, but that's what I've learned is I can still have dreams and I can still search for that purpose, but I'm not sitting still. I'm out searching for how I can serve others and how I can help others.
Yes.
And that makes me feel good. So,
And I love that word searching because you can feel it. You know that there's something else out there, and you're following all these little guideposts from people telling you to, get out of bed, people telling you that, the story you told us is really important. And I think that other people who have been in similar situations also need that uplifting. So I just love that you said yes and you were listening to those little signs along the way, and it's led you here to this moment, to this podcast, where really it's about you sharing your process, your struggles, and just being there in someone's corner to uplift them when they need it most.
yes, it's you do feel lost at times, and I want to let women know that it's okay to feel lost.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let someone tell you when it's time to start grieving. You'll know when it's time to take the next step. But still, that friend that said, "Are you ready?" because she knew I'd been praying about it, and that I guess the tone in my voice or what I had been discussing with her, I really don't remember that part, but I was ready to hear it at that time. And I want women to know that it's different for everyone. And
Yes.
I remember my feelings were, should I still be feeling this way? Or what is this guilt I'm going through? What is this, what is this that I'm going through? And know that it's perfectly normal and that there is hope to continue. You're still here for a reason is the main thing. You're still here. So let's find out what you're going to do with the rest of your life.
And that's so good. And I want everyone who is watching us live, catching the replay, or listening on the podcast to know that, this podcast is such an important one because I think there's a little bit of a gap. People don't often talk about their lives after loss. And the fact that Cheryl has been brave enough to take off the mask and say, I had this experience, and I know there are others out there having these experiences. And I want us to come together because we can create a community to uplift one another. So, Cheryl, can you let everyone know when they can expect a new podcast from you?
I'm hoping to have one up in the next 2 weeks. If sooner, I will definitely post. I'm still working and learning. So I hope, like I said, 2 weeks or less.
Okay. And then will there be an episode every week or every 2 weeks? What is the schedule they can expect?
Right now, I'm expecting every week.
Fantastic. That sounds so great. And until your podcast goes live on places like iTunes, where can viewers and listeners connect with you to start having conversations with you?
Anyone can reach out to me on my Instagram page, which is Champagne Beauty by Cheryl. And just tag me or message me, and I'll be glad to talk to you.
So if you have any takeaways from this episode, or you're going through something similar in your life, or maybe there's someone in your life who's experiencing this, definitely reach out to Cheryl on Instagram because she's a wealth of knowledge and she's there to uplift you and just to let you know that you have somebody there standing in your corner, cheering you on and helping you when you need it the most. Cheryl, absolutely. Together, you'll get through it all.
Yes.
Cheryl, I wanted to say thank you for allowing me to come here today to interview you on this very first episode of your podcast.
Thank you very much, Jan, for doing this. I'm excited, and I can't wait to see what the future brings for all of us, including your podcast. So, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Cheryl. And I'm Yang Pratt, and I've been here with Cheryl Stevens, and this has been episode number 1 of the Back to Living, There's Life After Loss podcast. Thank you all for tuning in today. Cheers.
Bye.